What up, guys? GangstaPranksta here, bringing you the weekly wrestling review for October 22nd. Welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, this is where I talk about everything pro wrestling, news, reviews, predictions, and I just want to tell everyone my opinions are my own. This is what it's about. It's about opinions. These are mine. You can leave yours in the comments, and that's what the comments are for. You leave your opinions, and I will say mine, and we can agree in the middle somewhere. So, when I say Bound for Glory was a piece of shit, that's my opinion, okay? Some people might have liked it, I didn't. But I think that's a good intro. First off, let's talk about the show. We got reviews of Bound for Glory, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor. Let me check. We got not a lot of news, couple things, and, predictions for Vengeance this Sunday, tomorrow night. But I will upload this Monday, so you already watched it. So, yeah. Anyways, so let's go through Bound for Glory first. Personally, I thought it was a pretty... Okay, in my opinion, I thought it was the worst Bound for Glory out of them all. I didn't really enjoy the whole thing. There were some things that were good, some things that were very, very shitty. And let's talk about them right now. First, I didn't get to watch Mexican America vs. Inc. They put that on the pre-show. I don't know why, because I was really looking forward to the match. I wanted it on the pay-per-view, but they didn't put it on the pay-per-view. Whatever. Mexican America retains, and the tattooed chick that's with Inc. is going to be called Toxin, which makes her sound like an STD, which is bad, in my opinion. It's a stupid name. Stupid name. Just keep her name Christina Von Eerie. I think that's fine. But whatever, Toxin is what we'll call her. Anyways, first match of the show, we got Austin Aries versus Brian Kendrick, X Division title match. This was a good match. Austin Aries wins. It was a good match. Austin Aries wins. I'm glad he won. You know, I want to see this feud move on. I mean, I like their matches, but I just want to see Austin Aries feud with other people. You know, feud with the X Division guys TNA signed a couple months ago, like after Destination X, Zema Ion, Tony Nese. What else? Who else? Mark Haskins, you know, use some of the other guys. I'd like to see a different mixture of X Division guys get a title shot. Next, the match I was not looking forward to. Well, one of the two matches I was not looking forward to. RVD versus Jerry Lynn, Full Metal Mayhem match. It was pretty good. RVD wins. They messed up a lot of spots in this match, and it wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was pretty good for what it was. Man, RVD almost got really fucked up in the match because, okay, there was a ladder set up from the ring apron to the guardrail, and Jerry Lynn was on the ring, RVD was on the apron. He was trying to suplex Jerry Lynn from the ring outside onto the ladder. But Lynn reversed it, jumped over, tried to do a powerbomb onto the ladder. His leg moved the ladder, and Van Dam almost bashed the back of his head against the gate. It was, oh man, it was scary. It was a scary spot to watch. But after the match, they shake hands. So all the bad blood is gone between them. Magically, after beating the shit out of each other. Next we got Samoa Joe versus Crimson versus Matt Morgan, three-way. Pretty good match. Crimson wins. Next we got Bully Ray versus Mr. Anderson, street fight. It was a good match. Anderson wins. They messed up the finish. So Bully Ray was on a table on the outside, and Anderson was gonna do like a swanton bomb through the table that Bully Ray was on. But the table didn't break, so they just, you know, you could see they talked about it after the move, and they just hit a mic check through the table. So quick thinking by both men just shows how professional they are, and it was a good match. Next we got Mickie James versus Winter versus Velvet Sky versus Madison Rayne, four-way knockouts title match. Karen Jarrett was the referee. This was a clusterfuck. I did not really like this, to be honest. Velvet won and is the new Knockouts champ. I like that, but she didn't really shine in the match. The only person I think really shined in the match was Mickie. She was in there the most. I think Velvet should have been in there the most to establish that she was going to win the Knockouts title, but they didn't do that, whatever, and Velvet's going to have a new program, with a returning diva. Oh, well, you guys probably already watched it, but I'll talk about that later on Impact. And Impact, man, we got shitstorms coming. But let's get through Bound for Glory. Next, we got AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels. I Quit match. Good match. AJ wins. After the match, as AJ was leaving, Daniels attacks him. So this is not over. The feud is not over. I don't know how I feel about that. But whatever. Next, we got Jeff Jarrett. He comes out and talks a bunch of shit about Jeff Hardy and then says he's going to kick his ass. Jeff Hardy comes out and they brawl and security breaks it up and blah, blah, blah. The only problem I have is TNA can't make up their mind what they're going to do with Jeff Jarrett. You know, first they had the Mexican America thing. That lasted about a week. And then a couple weeks ago, Kazarian and Jeff Jarrett looked like they were going to feud. They didn't even have a match. They just brawled and that was it. Gunner came out, took out Kazarian, that was it. You know, what the fuck, man? Like, I would have preferred Kazarian and Jarrett to have a match on this pay-per-view. I don't know, whatever. They just, like, fucking left Kazarian all out in the dust. Like, he looks stupid now, you know? Whatever. So, next we got Sting versus Hulk Hogan. Now, I'm going to be honest. When I first heard this match, I cringed. I was not too high on this match. I shit on it, and rightfully so, because I don't think these two should be having a match at their age, at the condition that Hulk's back is in. And I'll talk about that more in the match. It was pretty good for what it was. I enjoyed it. You know, I did enjoy it. Man, I can't believe like Hulk actually, like, with all the back surgeries, like, he actually took bumps and stuff, man. And if you want, you can check out pictures online. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find them and link them in the description. But, you know, he showed pictures of his back after the match on Twitter. And you could see, like, these scars and stuff. Oh, it was really gross. So, you know, congrats to Hulk. I don't really like him, but you got to respect the shit out of him for someone who put wrestling on the map. Had so much, you know, bad luck in his career with his whole, you know, divorce and then the incident with his son and, you know, losing all his money to his wife and his wife was cheating on him. Like, a lot of stuff, you know. He's persevered and I don't think he's a good fit in TNA, but, you know, he's whatever. He's name recognition, I guess. Let's get to the match. It's pretty good for what it was. I cringed every time Hogan took a bump. I'm like, man, I hope this guy doesn't get hurt, because it could be like a big lawsuit against TNA or something like around that, but whatever. So Sting wins. After the match, Ric Flair and Immortal attack Sting. Bischoff goes to hit Sting, but the ref, who they did a backstage segment, the ref is actually Eric Bischoff's kid. He takes the chair away from his dad. Then Bischoff nails his own son with a chair. Gosh, what an asshole. Immortal keeps attacking Sting. Sting looks to Hogan, asks him for help. Hogan's hesitant at first, but the fans cheer. They want Hogan. They want the red and yellow. So what does he do? He beats up all of Immortal. We got red and yellow Hulk Hogan back. Yeah, he's back. Him and Sting, they beat up all of Immortal. We got Immortal, they get taken out and stuff. And the fans go crazy. So I guess everyone's happy. I'm glad this did not close the show, but it wouldn't matter because the main event was pretty garbage anyways. Not that it was garbage. I liked the match. Kurt Angle versus Bobby Roode for the TNA World title. Good match. Shitty ending. That's the only thing I had. Angle slammed Roode, and when he went to pin Roode, Roode's arm was under the rope, and Angle's holding onto the ropes. You don't do this kind of shit on your biggest pay-per-view, you know? You send the fans home happy. You let Robert Roode win the title, or you let Kurt Angle win the title clean. None of these shenanigans, you know? And Roode didn't win. It's just really disappointing, you know? I don't know. I didn't really like the ending. I really would have preferred Roode to win it, because you pumped him up for like The whole Bound for Glory series, how long was that? 3 months? 3 months around that? And then you spent the whole Bound for Glory month hyping up Robert Roode, blah, blah, blah. Best wrestler, he's coming up, he's training, he's an animal, you know, he's going to win, he's worked hard, and he doesn't win. So, very shitty ending to this pay-per-view. Everything else was pretty good to okay. And, should you check it out? Nah, save your money. Next we got WWE Raw. Raw was very uneventful as well. It was set in Mexico, so it was taped like a week ahead, whatever. So let's just go through it real quick. John Laurinaitis comes out and tells the crowd Rey Mysterio is returning tonight. Crowd goes crazy, but he's kidding. He lies. And the crowd boos him. Then he brings out Jim Ross. Ross comes out and Laurinaitis tells the fans he says the fans wanted JR back, so he brought him back and apologizes for firing him. Then he shows a video of last week when he was fired. Michael Cole is making fun of him, so Laurinaitis says it will be Michael Cole and Del Rio versus Jim Ross and John Cena in the main event. First match, Randy Orton, Sheamus, John Morrison versus Christian, Cody Rhodes, and Mark Henry. Good match. Henry, Cody, and Christian win. Eve and Natalya is next. Pretty good match. Eve wins. Next, we have CM Punk versus Miz. Good match. Punk wins. After the match, Miz and R-Truth attack Punk. Near the end of the match, Triple H, he was with Punk. He was in Punk's corner. So, like, Truth was in Miz's corner, so Triple H was in Punk's. And John Laurinaitis comes out and says you have visa issues or something, immigration problems, and he had to get escorted out of the country, I'm guessing. So after the match, Miz and R-Truth attacked Punk. Next we have Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, and Vicky Guerrero. They come out and they shit all over Mexico and they talk about how the U.S. is better. Zack Ryder comes out for a match. Zack Ryder versus Jack Swagger. This was blah, to be honest. It was less than a minute. Ryder wins. After the match, Ziggler and Swagger are about to attack Ryder. But Mason Ryan comes out for a match against Ziggler. So it's Mason Ryan versus Dolph Ziggler. Okay match. Ziggler wins by DQ after Mason won't stop beating up Ziggler. After the match, he takes out Ziggler and Swagger. In the main event, John Cena and Jim Ross versus Del Rio and Michael Cole. Good match. Cena and JR win. After the match, Cena FUs Del Rio on the floor, hits him with steel stairs, and says their match of Vengeance will be a last man standing match. You know, this pay-per-view, way too rushed. And this show did not do a good job of making me want to see the pay-per-view. And that's what the final go-home show for Raw and SmackDown should be. Make you want to see the pay-per-view, want to order it. And Raw didn't do a good job of that to me, besides announcing that Del Rio and Cena will have a last man standing match. So I didn't really like Raw, very uneventful. I could have passed it, you know, I could have missed it and watched the next week and felt like it didn't miss anything. Next we got TNA Impact. Man, lots of stuff on TNA Impact this week. Some good, some bad. It started out really bad, to be honest, and I'll explain that in a second. So Sting comes out, and he talks about how Hogan has changed. Hogan comes out and says he's changed, and that's because of Sting, blah, blah, blah. Hogan leaves, but Sting stays. He tells Dixie Carter to come out. She comes out, and Sting says he saved TNA, but Dixie can't mess up again and make mistakes. Dixie says she wants Sting to help her take control of TNA. Sting accepts. Kurt Angle comes out and says Sting and Dixie wanted Rude to win, but Angle is still champ. Bobby Roode comes out and tells Angle he screwed him. Sting says Rude will have a rematch tonight. Angle says the contract for their match says they will only wrestle once. James Storm comes out and asks if the contract said Angle can't wrestle Storm. Sting steps in and says Angle will defend the world title against James Storm tonight. This was a very shortened version, but in a 2-hour show, this took 40 minutes. So over 1/4 of the show was talking. boring. I know you gotta set up feuds. You know, Bound for Glory's done. You gotta establish stuff. But this didn't have to go 40 minutes. That's ridiculous. And this is the same company that says Wrestling Matters. Throw a fucking... Start with a match or something. Actually, no, you would have had to start with Sting. But it didn't have to go 40 minutes. This whole thing went 40 minutes. Like, fuck. I was like, when the fuck is this gonna end? I didn't like this at all. Next we got Winner and Angelina Love versus Brooke Tessmacher and Tara for the Knockouts Tag Team title. It's been about 3 months, so we got to put the title on the line. This is one out of the many titles TNA forgets. Well, two. They forget about the TV title and this title, the Knockouts Tag Team title. Pretty good match. Brooke and Tara win and retain. Next we got Karen and Jeff Jarrett come out and call out Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy comes out and Jarrett says Hardy is a screw-up and he'll screw up again. He tells Hardy to leave. Hardy says Jarrett is the only one that doesn't want Hardy here. They brawl. Security breaks it up. But they keep brawling and stuff. You know, they escape from security. D'Lo Brown, Al Snow, and Simon Diamond come out to help break it up. And then D'Lo Brown and Al Snow, they start to, like, push each other. It's like, what the fuck? It was really absurd that D'Lo Brown and Al Snow were gonna, like, start brawling. It was like, oh my god, it was really stupid and ridiculous. It really took away from the brawl between Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett that D'Lo Brown and Al Snow were gonna get into it. Only in TNA, this ridiculous shit happens. Jarrett low blows Hardy and then he leaves. Next we got Gunner comes out and calls out Abyss. Abyss comes out for a match. Gunner versus Abyss. Okay match. Abyss wins by countout. Gunner ran away. Next we got Velvet Sky comes out and thanks the fans for being behind her through her struggle. Karen, Jarrett, Tracy Brooks come out. And Karen says she could fire Tracy and Velvet right now, but she's not going to. Karen gets security to escort Tracy out. Karen says she's going to make Velvet's life a living hell. Madison Rayne comes out and she distracts Velvet. And then Gail Kim, who says she was not in a hurry to return to wrestling, in an interview last week, made her debut on TNA. Made her return to TNA. And tagged Velvet Sky. So Gail Kim's back, and she's aligning herself with Madison Rayne and Karen Jarrett. I'm really excited for the Knockouts division now. You got a lot of good talent. Gail Kim's back, one of the original Knockouts. You know, shit's about to get popping in the women's division, and I'm excited. Next we got Immortal comes out, and a Bischoff comes out and calls out Hogan. Hogan comes out, and Bischoff says how could Hogan turn his back on him and turn his kid against him, blah, blah, blah. Immortal gets in the ring to jump Hogan, but Sting comes out and makes a save. Immortal bails. As Bischoff goes up the ramp, his kid comes out, and he punches Bischoff in the face. He punches Dad out. I'm proud of that guy. I don't really like Bischoff. He's a dickhead. Last but not least, the shocker of all shockers. And I said that sarcastically, but to be honest, I did not see this coming. Kurt Angle vs. James Storm, TNA World Title match. James Storm wins and is the new World Champion. I'll repeat that again. James Storm wins and is the new World Champion. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. Like, I read the spoilers ahead of time because they're like, oh, huge news coming out of TNA Impact. I'm like, I wonder what happened. So I checked it out and saw James Storm win it. So it wasn't really a shock when I watched it. I mean, it was still shocking because, like, really? You know, this guy wasn't even on Bound for Glory, you know? And he won the title. In 3 minutes, in less than 3 minutes, Storm won the title. So you didn't have to watch. I feel sorry for the people that bought the pay-per-view. You pretty much wasted your money. You know, you got the title change people wanted on free TV. That's fucked up. TNA does this, and to me, it just demeans the title. If a world title match or a world title like is supposed to change hands, I'd rather it be on a pay-per-view, especially your biggest pay-per-view of the year. Now you just have it on your regular TV show. Only in TNA. Anyways, Kurt Angle was injured, so he's going to be out of action for a while. I don't know why they didn't put it on Bobby Roode. Are they going to have a James Storm versus Bobby Roode main event in the next pay-per-view for the world title? I mean, I like James Storm, but it's just like you spent so much time and money promoting Bobby Roode as the next big thing, and then just nothing came out of it, you know? You should have went with James Storm then, or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, I'm okay with it, but it fell flat for Roode, you know, a guy who they've been pushing, promoting, promo packages, saying he's gonna beat Angle. He falls flat on his face. I didn't really like that, but whatever. We'll move on. Next, we got WWE Smackdown. Again, very uneventful show. Del Rio comes out and says he will not compete against Big Show because of Cena attacking him on Raw. Teddy Long comes out and says the doctors cleared Del Rio for a match. He says Del Rio is scared of Big Show. Teddy Long asks the fans if the match should happen. They cheer, so the match will happen, blah, blah, blah. First match, Mark Henry versus John Morrison. Okay match. Henry wins. Next, we got Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett. Good match. Wade Barrett wins. Side note here. WWE or SmackDown needs more Daniel Bryan. I've noticed for the past couple weeks he hasn't appeared. Sucks. I want him more. I want to see him more. I know WWE, you do not watch the show, but if you did, please put Daniel Bryan on more. You know, this guy has your money in the bank and could be your future world champion. Put him on the show a little bit more, please. Pretty please, with sprinkles on top, you know. Next, we got Sheamus and Zack Ryder versus Christian and Dolph Ziggler. Good match. Sheamus and Ryder win. Next, we got Cody Rhodes comes out and talks about Randy Orton. Talks about bagging him on Raw and stuff. Orton comes out and tells Cody he made a mistake by messing with him. They brawl. Cody runs away, but Orton takes out the bag men. The guys who take the bags and put them on, give them to Cody to bag people. Next, we got Sin Cara Blue versus Sin Cara Black in a mask versus mask match. It was a pretty good match. It went way too long, in my opinion. Holy fuck. Better than their match at Hell in a Cell, definitely. But it went pretty fucking long. And I didn't think it needed to. After the match, Blue Sin Cara wins. And after the match, Black Sin Cara doesn't want to take off his mask. So Blue Sin Cara beats him up and takes it off for him. And, yeah, I don't know if we're going to see Black Sin Cara, like, if he's going to be on SmackDown without his mask. I don't know what's going to happen now, or if that feud's over. So, we'll have to wait and see till next week. Next, we got Beth Phoenix and Natalya. They come out and they brag about themselves. Eve comes out. She goes back and forth with Beth. And she pushes Beth down and she leaves. She walks out. Last but not least, the main event, Big Show and Alberto Del Rio in a match. Good match. Show wins after DQ. Ricardo Rodriguez interferes. And then Big Show knocks him out, knocks Del Rio out. And then Mark Henry comes in and he gets knocked out too. So, 3 for 1 there. Well, it's not 3 for 1. Whatever. He knocked all 3 of them out. He knocked the WWE champion out, the world champion out, and some guy that wears a suit. So SmackDown was okay. It's whatever. Next we got Ring of Honor TV. It starts out with the Briscoe Brothers versus All Night Express. Good match. The Briscoe Brothers win. Good promo packages before the match, building up both teams. After the match, the Briscoes attack Rhett Titus. Good promo package with Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. They talk about Ring of Honor, wrestling. They briefly mention WWE, which I'm fine with. But they talk about how they like ROH more. If this was TNA, they would have had Benjamin and Haas just talk about how awesome WWE is. And, yeah, that's the difference between Ring of Honor and TNA. Ring of Honor knows how to do it. TNA doesn't. They like to talk about the WWE a lot. Next, we got Michael Elgin versus Eddie Edwards. This was the main event. This was a really good match. I enjoyed this. Eddie Edwards wins. After the match, Roderick Strong, Michael Elgin, and Truth Martini look like they're going to gang up on Eddie Edwards. But Nigel McGuinness comes out from the commentary booth, gets in the ring, and backs up Eddie. Could Nigel be returning to the ring? If so, that's fucking awesome. Man, if he's returning to the ring, I can't wait for more Ring of Honor. I love Nigel McGuinness. I think he's a great wrestler, and it sucks that he has an illness that has not been disclosed. But you know, I like him, and I hope he can get back in the ring. Hopefully he can overcome his medical illness, whatever that's going on with him. So I'd love to see Nigel back in the ring. Love it. Oh, God. I'm so excited. Ring of Honor has been awesome. This is the 4th week. Awesome show. Remember, if you don't know how to watch the show, go to the website, ROHWrestling.com, make an account for free. You can watch the show every Thursday. They upload the show, and you can go back and watch previous shows. Definitely recommend it if you're not in the U.S. and you miss a show or you can't watch it. Go make an account. You can watch the show for free. Next we got WWE Vengeance, which is tomorrow night, Sunday. It's an okay card, but like this is a 3rd pay-per-view in like a month and a half. Come on, WWE, space these out more. I feel like I'm doing a pay-per-view review every month, or every week. I mean, just like every week I'm talking about a new pay-per-view. But this week we got Vengeance. Let's start it out. First we got Christian and Sheamus. Continuing their match. I think Christian needs the win. Sheamus has been strong for the past couple weeks. He won the last pay-per-view, so I think Christian should win and then maybe have a final match in the blow-off match. Next, we got Zack Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler, U.S. title match. I'm going to have to go with Dolph Ziggler. Actually, I think this could go either way. Personally, I think WWE is grooming the U.S. title for Mason Ryan. And so I don't think Zack Ryder will win. Or he could win with the help of Mason Ryan. So it could go either way. So, you know, I'm going to go with Zack Ryder. Hopefully he can be the Internet Champion and the U.S. Champion. And Dolph Ziggler, he's going to be pulling double duty because not only does he have a U.S. title match to defend, he has a WWE Tag Team title match when Air Boom takes on Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger for the WWE Tag Team titles. I'm going to have to go with Air Boom. They've been consistently putting on good matches at the pay-per-view ever since they won the Tag Team titles, and that doesn't have to stop. Let's keep that train rolling. I think they might have a feud with the Usos next. There's not really many teams, so I don't know if they're going to continue this feud or what, but yeah, let's see some other teams either get made or involved, whatever. I'm going to go with Air Boom. Next, we got Beth Phoenix versus Eve, Divas title match. Beth Phoenix all the way. She just won the title like a couple weeks ago. No need to take it off so early. Although Eve, I'm fine with Eve winning it, but just not right away. Give it a couple months. Next, we got Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, non-title match. I'm going to go with Cody. I think the Bagmen are going to get involved, screw over Orton, and they'll have another match at Survivor Series. And maybe in like a steel cage match or something. I don't know. Something like that with a stipulation. Next, we got Triple H and CM Punk versus Miz and R-Truth. This could be a really good match. I'm going to go with... this is a tough one. Because there can be a lot of swerves here. You know, you can have CM Punk kind of screw Triple H and go with Miz and R-Truth and John Laurinaitis stuff. And, you know, change the WWE or something like that. I don't know. You can have Kevin Nash come out. Can't forget the Kevin Nash variable. He could come out with Miz and R-Truth, help them out, I mean. I'm going to go with Miz and R-Truth. They haven't been on pay-per-view for a long time. You know, last time they were on pay-per-view, they were getting arrested. I'm going to go with Miz and R-Truth. Miz and R-Truth. Next, we got Mark Henry versus Big Show World Title match. I'm going to go with Mark Henry. You know, he's been strong as a champion. Big Show came back. He doesn't really need the title, to be honest. I see Mark Henry. I see it like this. Mark Henry is going to beat Big Show, and then after the match, he's going to kind of like what he did before with the ankle, put the chair on it, and Kane's going to come out and make the save. So I think at the next pay-per-view, it's going to either be Kane and versus Mark Henry with Big Show in Kane's corner, or a three-way Mark Henry, Big Show, and Kane. But I see Kane returning. Next, we got Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena. Last man standing match for the WWE title. Well, Survivor Series is next week, so The Rock is going to be making his debut, or not his debut, his return to TV soon. Do you give Cena the WWE title, or do you not? I'm going to go with Del Rio. He just won it back. You know, he didn't get a very eventful WWE title run the first time. Hopefully the second time will work out well. My money's on Del Rio. So that's Vengeance. It seems like an okay card. We'll review it next week. And we just got a little bit of news. First, update on Tomko. Last week he was arrested on drugs for a felony charge. And he admitted that he had a serious drug problem. He was released from jail and going to rehab. All news bits have something to do with drugs and stuff in wrestling. So Tomko is going to rehab. Hopefully he gets the help he needs. Good luck, Tomko. Next we got Heath Slater was suspended for 30 days for his first wellness violation. That sucks. I don't know if it was for steroids. They weren't specific, and that's fine. That's his own privacy and stuff. I don't know. He hasn't been used much. To be honest, I see him getting fired very soon. Unless if they can find a spot for him. But, you know, I just mentioned Heath Slater and Tomko, you know. Well, Heath Slater, he failed a wellness policy. So he took a drug of some sort. Tomko, he's a drug addict. He admitted it. Next, we got the Scott Hall documentary. This happened on, I think, ESPN. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I watched it on YouTube. But, you know, it's just a very sad video and a very real video. You know, Scott Hall has always been a person that it's even mentioned in the documentary, like, people are waiting for him to die. Not in a bad way, but they're just not going to be surprised when he dies because of all the trauma he's been through with drugs. And that sucks. I definitely recommend the documentary. Really good. It just shows the bad about Scott Hall, to be honest. But hopefully it's used to enlighten people who want to join wrestling and stuff, start wrestling. Just look at the evil side. Well, not the evil side, but like the possibility of getting involved with drugs and stuff and alcohol. And Scott Hall is a great example, and he fully admits, like, he's been, I think it was said he been to rehab like 10 times. Fucking ridiculous. And he's still on drugs, man. Like, he's got demons. And, you know, Stephanie McMahon's in there, and, like, yeah, we spent a lot of money on Scott Hall and stuff. And you got Hulk Hogan's in there, Bischoff, Kevin Nash, X-Pac, Justin Credible. They're all talking about Scott Hall because they're his personal close friends. Definitely recommend it. I'm going to link it in the description. Go enjoy it. Go check it out. It's definitely an eye-opener. You know, I'm a big Scott Hall fan, but I definitely learned something from that interview or that documentary where he killed somebody. I never knew that. So it's definitely interesting to because I like Scott Hall. I'm a fan, and I never knew he killed somebody. So it's I learned something, and hopefully you guys can go watch it and take something away from the documentary and learn something. So that's it for the weekly wrestling review. Let's review. So we did a review for Bound for Glory, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor, predictions for Vengeance. We talked about some news. Next week's show, reviews of Vengeance, Raw, Smackdown, Impact, Ring of Honor. Get some more news. Hope if you guys are subscribed to the channel, I hope you're liking the Batman Arkham City Let's Play. That's not going to stop. That's going to continue. Hope you're enjoying that. I got some different stuff on the way within the week. Hope you guys are enjoying. Enjoy the videos. Don't forget to rate it, like, dislike, comment on whatever. What did you think of Bound for Glory? Did you enjoy it? I really didn't, personally. I think it was the worst Bound for Glory out of all of them. What do you think of James Storm winning the world title over Bobby Roode? And just leave your opinions in the comments. I want to know. I'll see you guys next week.